A sepoy was formerly the designation given to an Indian soldier. In the modern Nepalese Army, Indian Army, Pakistan Army and Bangladesh Army it remains in use for the rank of private soldier. Etymology and historical usage. The term sepoy is derived from the Persian word sepah meaning infantry soldier in the Mughal Empire. In the Ottoman Empire the term sepoy was used to refer to cavalry troopers. In its most common application, sepoy was the term used in the British Indian Army, and earlier in that of the British East India Company, for an infantry private. The term sepoy came into use in the forces of the British East India Company in the 18th century, where it was one of many, such as Payyans, Gentoos, Mustis and Tapasses used for various categories of native soldiers. Initially it referred to Hindu or Muslim soldiers without regular uniform or discipline. It later generically referred to all native soldiers in the service of the European powers in India. Close to 96% of the British East India Company's army of 300,000 men were native to India and these sepoys played a crucial role in securing the subcontinent for the company. Sepoys in the Mughal Empire equals. A sepoy or a sepoy was an infantryman in both the Mughal Empire and the Kingdom of Mysore. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb raised battalions of sepoys variously armed with matchlocks, rockets, and grenades. These troops were successfully employed in siege warfare, particularly during the Siege of Bidar, the Siege of Bijapur and the Siege of Golconda. Sepoys in British service equals. Initially the British recruited sepoys from the local communities in the Madras and Bombay presidencies, the emphasis being on recruits having adequate physique and being of sufficient caste. In the Bengal Army however, recruitment was only amongst high-caste Brahmin and Rajput communities, mainly of the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar regions. Recruitment was undertaken locally by battalions or regiments often from the same community, village and even family. The commanding officer of a battalion became a form of substitute for the village chief or game bearer. He was the Mai-Bap or the father and mother of the sepoys making up the Paltan. There were many family and community ties amongst the troops and numerous instances where family members enlisted in the same battalion or regiment. The Izzat at the unit was represented by the regimental colours. The new sepoy having to swear an oath in front of them on enlistment. These colours were stored in honour in the quarter guard and frequently paraded before the men. They formed a rallying point in battle. The oath of fealty by the sepoy was given to the East India Company and included a pledge of faithfulness to the salt that one has eaten. The salary of the sepoys employed by the East India Company, while not substantially greater than that paid by the rulers of Indian states, was usually paid regularly. Advances could be given and family allotments from pay due were permitted when the troops served abroad. There was a commissariat and regular rations were provided. Weapons, clothing and ammunition were provided centrally, in contrast to the soldiers of local kings whose pay was often in arrears. In addition, local rulers usually expected their sepoys to arm themselves and to sustain themselves through plunder. This combination of factors led to the development of a sense of shared honor and ethos amongst the well-drilled and disciplined Indian soldiery who formed the key to the success of European feats of arms in India and abroad. Following the Indian Rebellion of 1857, the surviving East India Company regiments were merged into a new Indian Army under the direct control of the British Crown. The designation of sepoy was retained for Indian soldiers below the rank of lance naik, except in cavalry where the equivalent ranks were sirwai or trooper. Sepoys in French service equals. Following the formation of the French East India Company in 1719, companies of Indian sepoys were raised to augment the French regulars and Swiss mercenary troops available. By 1720 the sepoys in French service numbered about 10,000. Although much reduced in numbers after their decisive defeat in India at the Battle of Wandsworth in 1760, France continued to maintain a military corps of Indian sepoys in Pondicherry until it was disbanded and replaced by a locally recruited gendarmerie in 1898. Sepoys in Portuguese service equals. Sepoys were also recruited in Portuguese India. Some Portuguese sepoys were later sent to serve in other territories of the Portuguese Empire, especially those in Africa. The term Sepoy was also applied by the Portuguese to African soldiers and African rural police officers. Other usages: the same Persian word reached English via another route in the form of spay. Zipayo, the Basque version of the word, is used by leftist Basque nationalists as an insult for members of the Basque police, implying that they are not a national police but servants of a foreign occupier. In Hispanic American countries, especially in the Argentine, the word Sepoy usually refers to individuals that for their actions serve the interests of imperialist policies in the continent instead of own interests of their nations. See also, Indian Rebellion of 1857, Sewa, meaning the one who rides in Persian, was originally a rank during the Mughal, Maratha period. Jawan, the word used today to describe a soldier of the armies of India and Pakistan. References